Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Woof! Yes, it's so strange when he does it. Whoa, hi. When Wolfie barks as if he's waiting for me to finish speaking. But we are here, back in Farlands or Bust, as I mentioned just seconds ago, in episode 398. Woof! Getting so close to episode 400. So close! You're too close, man. You're too close. But, yeah, we're continuing in a westward direction here on Friday. It is Friday, August 29th, 2014. And what am I looking at? We did it! And we did it! Sorry. I kind of spoiled the anticipation, the surprise, the celebratory nature of the announcement I'm about to make, but we did it! We reached our milestone that I set forth before we reach episode 400. I doth declare that we should reach $11,739 for Child's Play charity before episode 400. That was the total amount we raised for the first fundraiser season, which was technically season 2 of Farlands or Busts. And we have indeed surpassed that. We are at $11,830. Somebody at one point very appropriately had it set at $11,820. 820 is, for those of you who aren't aware, kind of a very significant number here in the Farlands or Bust expedition. 820 is the estimated or the calculated amount of hours it would take a Minecraft player to reach the Farlands if they had just pressed the W key down and were walking at a constant rate in a super flat world without any boats or water or obstacles or single blocks to jump up or anything like that. In a super flat world, that is how long the player would take to go from 0 to 12,550,820 blocks, which is where the Farlands starts. So 820 was kind of a number we tossed around early on there, but we're actually at $11,830. We got another $10 donation in. Thank you very much, everybody who has donated and got us to that point. I will have an announcement next week, perhaps even on the 400th episode next week for our celebration for that. It is going to be above and beyond the standard weekly live streams that I've been doing. We're going to be doing some sort of mini flobathon. I need to check my calendar, but I'm hoping to hold it. What is wrong with the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm hoping to hold it, future tense, over the weekend, because I know for some people school, university has begun, and weekdays tend to be a little bit crammed for viewership. So we're going to hopefully get that onto the weekend, and we'll look forward to that. Not this weekend, but the next weekend. It's already practically the weekend. It is Friday. Friday. Where does it go? And it's also the end of the frickin' month. Frickety frick. The frickin' month. I don't say that word that often, but it felt a little bit out of place right there, so I decided to accentuate it even more and say it 6 times in a row. I'm weird. But, yeah, thank you very much for everybody who donated. You're helping get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. Of course, Child's Play charity, originally started by the folks at Penny Arcade, and this weekend, actually today, is the first day of Penny Arcade Expo Prime, PAX Prime, over in Seattle. And I'm clearly, and hopefully obviously, to you, I'm obviously not there. A bunch of other Mindcrackers and YouTubers are. And I went last year to PAX Prime and got to actually meet, at least I got to meet, was it Jamie? Yeah, Jamie from Child's Play charity. And here we have a spawner to explore. But yeah, I met Jamie from Child's Play charity. I went to the Child's Play charity, what am I doing? the Child's Play charity panel that they had. It's very cool to finally meet. I could do that. No iron, but it's a double chest. Get double chested. What? I beg your pardon? Is there another chest? Is it a triple? No. No triple chest spawner for me. This is, however... Ooh, a Skeletina spawner. See, now I'm... we have the seam in the middle. For some reason, I think that's not right. Hold on, let me... Oh, God. I rarely do this. Let me, No. I do not want cocoa beans, or buckets, or bread. I want the 2 chests, and then I'm actually going to go upstairs, and when I place them back down, we're going to see if that seam appears. I don't remember that being a thing, and I'm always surprised. Oh, it is! Okay. It's a thing, everybody! Is it maybe a problem with my texture pack? Because I'm using the Far Lands Robust texture pack, given to me a long time ago by, Axis1 is the name of, the username. There's always been a link in the video description, but I don't remember there being a seam. Maybe I'm just thinking about the current Minecraft. Because in current Minecraft, the chests don't take up an entire block like these do. They also open, too. Oh yeah, we are now over encumbered with such things as these. Well, such things as that 6 pieces. Oh, well, you know what? 6 pieces of that, and some sand. We can have a party. We can have a little bit of a mini celebration here for reaching our little mini milestones. That's what I need, right? I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we've got enough. We've got enough for some fireworks we can have later on. I'm probably gonna forget by the end of the episode, but oh well. What was I saying? Yeah, we reached the goal. Child's Play charity. Go to farlandsbus.com to continue donating, and I answer questions. If you leave questions in the comment field with your donation, I will add them to the list, the ever-growing list, to get to in a future episode of Far Lands Bust here. But right now, we are making progress towards the Far Lands, and I have a little bit of a follow-up of ironic proportions. Remember last episode I mentioned how I personally was having issues with my internet, and then also on the same day Time Warner Cable, actually I'm not with Time Warner Cable, but they actually had a nationwide outage, an outage of their internet thanks to whatever happened on the backbone of their connection to the internet. It was just announced in articles yesterday that Time Warner Cable has actually been fined $1.1 million for failing to report outages. Now, this is not in any way related to the outage they had on Wednesday. This is actually from the FCC, which is interesting because the FCC is also the ones who are charged with approving or denying the merger between Comcast and Time Warner. So, you know, normally they are close bedfellows because the head of the FCC is an ex-lobbyist for the cable industry. Yeah, they've actually been fined $1.1 million, which is actually kind of a slap on the wrist more than anything, for outages actually relating to their VoIP, voice over IP. A lot of people forget that, well, Comcast, Time Warner are, yes, cable companies, cable television, cable internet companies. They're also now phone companies because they offer bundled phone service, which is voice over IP. It uses their cable, the internet infrastructure for your home landline telephone. And this fine comes from outages relating to their VoIP services. And the reason they get fined and the reason they get in trouble for this is because it affects people's abilities to call in for emergency services. Dialing 911 through a internet phone service, your internet goes down, you can't dial 911 anymore. So the FCC has very stringent rules in place. Specifically, they need to notify customers within 30 minutes if an outage affects more than 900,000 customers. And, you know, that is related to their internet service, because VoIP internet, but yeah, so you'd think, I don't know, I wonder if perhaps the angle arguing that these are phone companies who are looking to merge as well. Even though I'm not sure how the statistics go for phone companies. A while ago, AT&T was forced to break up into different subsidies because of anti-competitive monopolistic behavior, and they had to branch out into the Bell North and West and all these other ones, and not US Cellular. Who did they have to branch? Singular. They had to branch their mobile service out to Singular Wireless, and then when all of those rules were reversed with more lackadaisy enforcement, then they just gobbled those back up, and AT&T rebought Singular, which is what they were originally forced to branch off in. But anyway, I digress. That was just kind of a little interesting news. I saw that headline and I'm like, haha, I was just talking about this. But let's talk about and answer some questions when we continue in the morning. And wakeness. Ooh. Voice crackness. But yeah, it is indeed Friday, and I try to attempt to make it a little bit of a fan Friday theme. That is to say, I do my best to answer an increased volume of questions on this day. But it is not this day. It is this day, actually, but zombles. But yeah, let's look at some questions here. Oh, that guy has a pumpkin as a friend. Looking at a question from Kirk. Kirk asks, do people ever call you Kirk? Not too much. I suppose sometimes over the phone if I'm ordering something or doing something, it's a little bit difficult for people to hear what I'm saying. There is a funny anecdote, is that I had a friend in elementary school whose mom always called me Kirk. And I just eventually stopped trying to correct, even like my friend, and her kids would try to correct her, but I was always Kirk. Oh, Kirk's coming over. Do you want anything to drink, Kirk? For like whatever reason, I was Kirk. No, Kurt with a T. People always confuse the spelling with C-U-R-T or K-U-R-T. But otherwise, no, that's not a frequent thing to be accidentally be called Kirk. Too much. I know Kirk said in his question that sometimes he gets accidentally called Kurt. It's a common-ish name, but not very common. I don't know that I've actually met, like, in real life, that many, well, gosh. How did I do that? It wasn't even like Cheaty Snow there. I don't know that I've really met that many or any people in real life named Kurt. Like, even in my school, I don't know, like, in my school history, if I ran across many other Kurts. Of course, now on the internet, I know quite, there are even some other much more popular YouTubers named Kurt out there, but I don't, it's nothing that I really expect to ever go somewhere, go to a restaurant and have a server named Kurt or this or that or the other. I never expect that, just because it's not a rare name, like I said, but it's not a frequent one either. But anyway, Kirk's real question was, when stargazing, ooh, that's lava. When stargazing, do you ever find yourself staring at Betelgeuse, in case a supernova happens in your lifetime? Well, no, because generally, astronomically speaking, Betelgeuse, other than its color, isn't really that interesting to look at through a telescope or just in general. Stuff around there, the Orion area, the Orion Nebula, the Horsehead Nebula, the whole stuff going on around there is pretty interesting, but in general, Betelgeuse itself lacks visual interest, and realistically speaking, you're kind of wasting your time if you're sitting there staring at Betelgeuse, waiting for it to go supernova. First of all, if you saw that moment, then that really actually means that happened some 2 or 20,000 years ago, or however far away Betelgeuse specifically is. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it could happen. It could. It's unlikely. They've done the date ranges, and they're like, well, technically anything could happen. It could happen tomorrow, but more or less we're looking at 100,000-year time scale where Betelgeuse will go supernova. So really sitting there staring at it is honestly, you'd have better luck laying back and looking at the entire sky and seeing an amazing fireball meteor versus sitting there waiting for Betelgeuse to go supernova. If it were to go supernova in our lifetime, it would be just as impressive. Perhaps you miss the initial moment that it goes supernova, but it would be just as impressive if you go out and look at it 6 hours later, so you're not really, it's not really like seeing the exact moment is the thing to do. But yeah, no, that is not a practice that I partake in. Watching stars, waiting for them to explode. Generally not something you want to waste your time with. You actually probably have more of a chance of staring at the moon, waiting for an impact to be visible on the moon, like a meteor impact, which those have been recorded. It's much easier to record when you're looking at a new or a crescent moon, because then you can actually see, and there is video out there, you can see impacts, little flashes of light of impacts on the moon. But yeah, that's I would not recommend that. You will go very, very disappointed if you sit there waiting for a star to go supernova in your lifetime. Let's do that. Let's also... Oh, that's not how you do it. Let's also do some dangerous work here. Let's keep that out of our inventory. Let's also get rid of that residue. Plunk down the boat and continue on. Let's continue on with a question from Rosie, whom I'm assuming is Axel Rosie, the artist behind the new Far Lands or Bust logo that I've been using, the Careful Wolfie t-shirts, mugs, and other such gifts and apparel that are available at farlands.spreadshirt.com. Rosie asks, any chances one would be able to meet you at PlayOnCon 2015? Watch where you're going, Kurt. Don't read the questions without watching where you're going. She asks in response to how difficult it is for North Americans to make it to Minecon, supposedly, which is taking place next year in London. PlayOnCon, to be honest, does not seem like the convention for me to attend. I know Good attends that quite regularly, amongst other people, but PlayOnCon seems a lot more like a party convention, if I can kind of pigeonhole it into a particular genre of convention. I would, however, be interested in seeing if Game Vid Expo happens again next year. Game Vid Expo last year happened for the first time, put on by the same people, the same friends of Good who put on PlayOnCon. It's basically, they saw VidCon, the success of VidCon, also other conventions. They see the success of Minecon, how Minecon is kind of transformed into kind of less about Minecraft in general and more about the YouTube community behind it. And they made Game Vid Expo, which took place last year in March for the first time in Atlanta. I think either the same convention area or center as PlayOnCon takes place. But Game Vid Expo was basically like VidCon, but for gaming content videos on YouTube, Twitch, and whatnot. And it was very small. I don't think they sold out, but they had, like I said, Good was there. I think Captain Sparkles went there. I think Total Biscuit was there. So I feel like that has a lot more potential for a gaming, specifically gaming video, gaming content, online gaming content conference to be attending. So I'll perhaps get in contact with Good and see what the status is on the next one there. Of course, the PAXs are always a lot more likely for me, which are nice, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on what's happening at PAX Prime to see what changes. I know something new is the Mindcrack group is definitely starting to be a lot more active with those. In that when I went last year, we didn't have a panel, but they had a panel most recently at PAX East, and now they're having another one on PAX Prime. It's actually going to be, I suppose I can announce if you're interested in watching. Well, I don't know where it's going to be live. I think it's going to be live streamed, but it's going to be on Sunday at 6 p.m. That's Pacific time, I believe, because they're in Seattle. So it's kind of weird. It's going to be like the last panel of the day, so they're kind of not expecting that much of a turnout. But PAX Prime is actually a 4-day. So it goes on to Monday as well. So hopefully people won't be leaving for Sunday. But yeah, it's Sunday at 6 p.m. local Pacific time for them. So I don't know if I'm going to be around to watch that live, but I'll be keeping an eye on that. And who knows? There's now PAX South, of course, PAX East. There's PAX Prime in Seattle. There is PAX Australia. That is pretty much unlikely for me to ever attend, at least in the current status. But I think that they announced like a PAX Europe. Am I wrong in this? Am I misspeaking here? But I feel like there was another region they announced last year. But anyway, yeah, PlayOnCon probably. Actually, I could probably definitely tell you no. I will not be attending any PlayOnCons ever. not anything against the convention. It's just not my scene, man. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my bag, baby. But the Game Vid Expo, I'll be keeping an eye on for how that progresses through the future. But yeah, thank you very much for that question. Person who I'm assuming is Rosie. Axel Rosie, that is. Let's go to sleep. And at some point in the next day here, we'll set off some fireworks and also continue answering questions here. And a flobness. Woof. And a flobness. Ooh, Mickey Mouse ears. Let's see, an anonymous question came in asking, are you ever going to open a P.O. box? No. My position still stands on the P.O. box. I've answered this many times before. People ask this all the times. I don't really feel the need. I know there's situations where you guys want to send me things, even just fan mail, but to me, we live in a digital world. I'm very, very happy to be receiving fan messages on Twitter. On YouTube is a little bit more difficult for me to get a handle on because I don't have the Google Plus, so it's really I'm impeded thanks to Google's force feeding of Google Plus and me. I have refused the hand that feeds me. I have refused Google Plus. And not only am I gluten-free, I'm Google Plus free. So YouTube in general is a little bit difficult for me to honestly get messages on. But on Twitter, now even on Patreon is a new way for me to connect with fans. And I just feel like I don't want. I see what other people, what Good, what Aurelian, what I know LD Shadow Lady takes post box messages or whatever they call it there across the pond and in crazy tea drinky land. It's not a PO box. I was gonna try to come up. It's a crumpet box. I don't know. Stereotypes. But yeah, I don't want to encourage. I'm kind of an organized guy in that I'm not saying you guys would send me junk, but I don't want to have to like dedicate a room in my house to like hold all these boxes and gifts and artwork and little things that come in the post box. So no, I never see fit to be opening a PO box ever. I've always said if save the postage, save whatever you would be maybe spending to get me something, and instead donate that to Child's Play charity, if you want to. At a very last resort, if you've already supported Child's Play charity or whatever, and you want to give KurtJMac something to support his channel, or to show your support for his channel, there is the Patreon that's there. Also, I've been, I'm just saying this, but I mentioned it in the live stream yesterday, but I've been approved for the beta program of the YouTube tip jar, is what has been called, the fan funding. People like Zisto, Pulsource Jr. have also been approved and have enabled that, but I'm not going to enable that on my channel because I have the Patreon. It's a little bit of a different system. It's for the one-off tip donations. Hesitate to call them donations, but tips, I suppose you could say. And because I do have the Patreon, I don't want to further fragment or double dip, I suppose, as you could say. Just the same reason why I don't enable the subscriptions model on Twitch, because that would be triple dipping. Triple dip. Get a dip job. When I dip, you dip, we dip. So yeah, those are the ways you can contact me. Twitter is a way. I definitely read through all my mentions on Twitter, so that's kind of a quick and easy way. But yeah, thank you very much for that question. Speaking of Mind a Cracker, got another anonymous question, and I get this all the time during the live streams. This is once again something I did address in the live stream, but I'll mention it here in case you weren't there or you don't watch the archive footage, which is going to go up probably tomorrow or Sunday. Any plans to any plans for builds on the Mindcrack server? Well, I'm first of all going to build a new tongue, because this one is broken. It cannot form the proper syllables I wish to speak. But any plans for the Mindcrack server, either joining, why aren't you playing on the new Mindcrack server, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I did get a little bit burnt out, specifically in quite flamboyant fashion there at the end when the server was decided to be reset while I was in the middle of what could be, well, is what literally is the biggest project and build undertaking I've ever had, and I had to pretty much abandon it mid build. So I felt a little bit burned out and a little bit kind of like, ugh, after that happened. So I kind of just avoided and concentrated on my own content and kind of getting my own schedule up to speed when they did reset the server. It was also at the same time there was a UHC coming out that I actually did pretty well in the last UHC, and I felt a little bit over Mindcracked. I was cracked on the Mindcrack. And so I kind of just didn't join, and then it kind of got to the point where it was like, well, if I join now, it's kind of midway, and it's kind of, all the resources are taken, and the way it's currently set up with the world border, it's very limited. It doesn't really lend itself to the player who likes to just pick a direction and adventure and walk off and explore and generate new land. So I'll wait, but I did mention in the last live stream yesterday that I kind of feel like now with the pre-release, it's been on snapshots, but with the Mojang has started to release what are known as pre-releases of the full 1.8 release of Minecraft. I feel like waiting, kind of making it a little bit more of a ceremonious event, waiting for the full release of Minecraft 1.8 in order to join the server. That way, for both myself and my viewers, it's going to be, instead of having these incremental snapshot updates, it's going to be like, boom, we're going to join in 1.8, and there's going to be all these new things and changes that we kind of slightly experienced at the end of the last season of Minecraft, but because we haven't been playing in the snapshots, it's going to be exciting. Kind of, it was something that I kind of miss about the old release schedule, where when Notch was just working on Minecraft, he would just release an update and not tell anybody what he did, and it would be kind of like, oh, he added this, or oh, this was added, or oh, what is this cool thing? So it's going to be kind of a new experience for me. It's also going to kind of feel like I'm a new Mindcracker. I'm joining kind of mid-season, much like people in the past have, and it'll be kind of an interesting experience to join a server already in progress. and maybe it'll be a little bit easier for me to find a project or an area to work on, since there's already a lot of bustling activity. So yeah, it's nothing like hostile or I'm not like against joining the Minecraft server. Whoa, that was like a really. I don't have like a stutter, but that, you ever just get that sometimes where like your brain just stops and you're just like stuttering for some reason? It's again, the wires are crossed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, so keep your eyes peeled for when the new 1.8 actually fully gets released. Maybe I'll wait for 1.8.1 just to make sure they iron out whatever bugs exist. But yeah, that's probably that would be a nice you know, a solid time where I could say, yes, I will join at this time, as opposed to just popping on for no reason whatsoever to say hello and then leaving. This is a little bit more. It has a point. There's a purpose, a time, and a. Ow! Oh man, do you miss that damage? All right, I'm just gonna get out of the boat because yeah, Wolfie's right there. You missed that damage noise he got? The as opposed to now it's just the little tick noise. Nope. All right. Well, I was gonna try to force the issue there, but I guess not. I'm looking for a place to set off this TNT. I told you I didn't want to forget before the end of the episode, but I haven't seen anything like interesting for which to do this in. I'm looking for some interesting landscape or a feature, maybe like a big tube down to the bottom of the world or something. I mean, there's some sand here. There's, I mean, I guess sand is always interesting to detonate TNT because it creates a little crater that then. Oh, there we go. That seems like an interesting place. All right, let's actually. Ooh, let's first of all find a place to call our home. This sounds all right. Yeah, have a seat right there, Wolfie. Good job. You read my mind. All right, let's do that, and then let's set that right there, and then I want to drop it like it is hot down the shaft here. All right. Ooh, careful now. Yeah, I'm gonna put it. Yeah, let's put it like right. Ooh, yes. And that should. The only problem is if it like jumps towards me. All right, we're going to bomb the depths of the Minecraft world here to celebrate reaching our goal before episode 400. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Oh wait, that's right. Whee! Oh, that didn't go down as far as I'd hoped. Yay! We couldn't see that at all. Oh, but that's pretty funny. All right, let's get out of here. It's kind of dark and dangerous. Very nice indeed. I do appreciate everybody. You know, I revised my goals as I realized we were reaching them much quicker. I'm like, let's try to reach $10,000. $10,000 was reached. Oh, okay, let's try to do this. Let's try to do that. So you guys kept up quite well. So I will keep up with my end of the bargain, and we will have. I'll probably maybe announce Monday if I can solidify my schedule much better than that. The date and time for, you know, I'm thinking a good 4-hour live stream, kind of a half. It's a half Flobathon, sort of, based on previous Flobathon times. I'm not sure specifically if I want to play Far Lands or Bust during it, but we'll see. I don't know, maybe, hopefully, keep your fingers frogged. Keep your fingers crossed. Maybe Minecraft 1.8 will be out by then. Oh, and also another kind of funny reason I came up with during the live stream is right now we're playing in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3, and we stopped upgrading Far Lands or Bust to 1.8 because that is where they removed the Far Lands. So it's a little bit of an in-joke, a little bit of a jab at your sides, if you will, that we're going to say we're not going to rejoin the Minecraft server until Minecraft 1.8. It's almost it's just one upgrade. We're going from beta 1.73 to 1.8, right? Jokes. All right. That's enough of you, Kurt. Calm down. End the episode. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody has a good weekend. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Get double-chested. What?